Hi everyone, Mr. K here with an accounting video. If you came here looking for a Game Maker video today, I'm really sorry. I got to get this one up because of reasons. I might do more of these. I don't know. We'll see how this one goes. But today we are covering out of the Century 21 accounting book, Chapter 11, Section 1. Yes, we are starting a new chapter, and I'm doing it on YouTube. Hope for the best. So, we're starting off with posting to an accounts payable ledger today. Now, similar to the rest of part 1, we are taking duplicate stuff and basically spreading it out over to different pieces. Sorry, my dog walked in the room, I got distracted. In chapters 9 and 10, we took the journals, and anything that was repetitive in the journals, we split it up. So we have a purchases journal now, we have a cash payments journal now, we also have a cash receipts journal, and we have a sales journal, all these different journals. And the same thing is going to happen with our ledgers. Our accounts payable ledger is no longer going to be one giant ledger full of everything that, full of every single transaction that means we owe money. We're going to break it up into separate different vendors, because the idea is, depending on the size of your business, you probably have a bunch of different people you buy stuff from, and you probably have a different bunch of people that owe you money. So instead of keeping track of it in one big ledger, we're going to break it up into smaller ones, and this way it's a little bit easier to find exactly how much we owe or how much they owe us. So chapter 11 is kind of dense. It's going to take a little while to go through and probably wrap your head around. But we're going to start with just the accounts payable today, and we'll work into accounts receivable and then work on posting things to a general journal, because that changes a bit now, and yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. So let's go accounts payable today. So this is the work together. This should be the same thing that you will see on your Google Classroom. And you get at the bottom here all of your relevant journals. So since we're doing accounts payable, that means purchases, cash payments, and general journals. And we're going to take each relevant line and post it into our ledger. So that means anytime we see anything that has to do with accounts payable. So we have accounts payable credit, there's going to be one thing from here. Our cash payments journal, we have accounts payable is going to be one thing from here. And if you look at our general journal, we have accounts payable here and an accounts payable also down here. One's a credit, one's a debit. And they're all going to end up in here. That's the idea. So let's get started. So over here, I hope this is showing up. I should have checked ahead of time. We have our actual work together. Let's start right at the top. We're going to set up a new ledger first. I forgot to mention that. We have 3 set up for us already. Art and Things, Can Do Graphics, and Electrographic Supply. And they have vendor numbers that have been assigned to them. And we are going to make a new one, and we're going to make it for Regal Designs. Oh, not good. Regal Designs, and they're telling me that I should use the vendor number of 240. On top of that, they do have a balance to start off with, and we're going to stick that at the very top. So October 1st, we have a balance. If you remember from our ledgers in the past, we never used this column at all. Depending on who you are, we talked about it and said there might be for odd reasons we'll use it, but this is one of the odd reasons. For a balance, you do put in what it is. It's the balance. Okay, no post-ref necessary because, well, it's just the balance. It wasn't actual transaction. So that also means debit and credit remain empty. We're just going to put in the actual balance, which is $877. Okay, so we started a new page for our accounts payable ledger. Account number was 240. October 1st, 877. So far, so good. Now, we need to post our first transaction to our ledger. So we're going to take a look at the accounts payable credit. That's on line 7 of the purchases journal. They kind of have this written backwards. So what you want to do is find your purchase journal, find line 7, and look for the accounts payable credit. So purchase journal, line 7, and there's the accounts payable credit. So it is for 140320. And it's going towards Regal Designs on the 19th. So, back to our accounts payable ledger. We're going to find Regal Designs, which is the one we just made. It's for October 19th, and no, my memory is not that good. I have another piece of paper in front of me so I can cheat. The post reference is going to be PJ10. Now, if you remember from doing our old journals, we always put G and then whatever the page number was. Well, I put PJ this time because it's a purchases journal. In fact, it shouldn't be PJ. It should be just P. Whoops. P10 for purchase journal 10. The credit amount was for 1403.20, and our credit balance. Sorry for sniffing in the mic. I hope that didn't come out too much. And our credit balance is going to get updated. We have credit to begin with, more credit, which means this is this plus that for $2,280.20. So first one done. Next up, we need to go to the accounts payable debit credit on entry on line 15, cash payments journal, again written backwards. So cash payments journal, line 15, we have an accounts payable debit this time. So cash payments journal, line 15, and we have an accounts payable debit, $776 for Electro Garden Supply. Oh, I almost forgot something. We do have to go back to our purchases journal, and we need to write in our post ref here. Our post ref, it goes for the vendor name, so it's 240. Sorry for bouncing around. 240. Anyway, back to number 3. So cash payments journal, line 15, Electro Garden Supply, $776 debit. So Electro Garden Supply, this was on the, I don't remember already, and I don't feel like finding it. Oh, it's the 20th. On the 20th, post reference is cash payments journal, and it's page 15, debit of $776. And that happens, I don't need to do any fancy math here. It's the same exact thing as it was before. So you can put in a 0 if you want. The book sometimes has it as just a straight up line. So I'm going to put a couple lines there just to indicate that it is empty. It's up to you. Doesn't really matter as long as it's clear what you're doing. And now that we're done with that, we're going to put in our post reference in the journal to 230. Okay. Moving right along. Now, the last one that we have to do, and then there's going to be a new thing. We're going to post a credit entry on line 5 from the general journal, and then there's a debit entry on line 6 of the general journal. So we got a couple things going on here. So general journal, line 5, we have accounts payable credit to Electro Garden Supply. So they paid off their debt, and then they bought something, and then we bought something. We paid off our debt, and then we bought something else. So Electro Garden Supply, that is for the 26th of the month. And it's the general journal, page 11. Right? I have 10 written here. I don't know. I'll put what I actually have on the screen. I think I forgot to change the number. And it is a credit entry of, I lost it. I'll just go back and look for it. General journal, credit entry of 2544. 2544. We had 0 balance to begin with, so 2544 is our new balance. And we have another one in here. This is on line 6 this time. Oh, dogs are barking. Line 6 this time. We have accounts payable. Oh, man. If I need to pause this video and tell my dogs to be quiet, I'm going to be really annoyed because editing sucks. Accounts payable, debit of 125. For art and things. So art and things, quiet up until now. This one is on the 28th. Also on general journal page 10. And it is a debit of 125. So we paid off some of our debt, but not all of it. So this is just our credit balance minus the new transaction, 748. And we are good to go. So that's all 4. I know they only list 3 numbers here, but there's, oops. All 4 of our actual transactions into our accounts payable ledger. And that's pretty much the gist of it, but there is one more thing you do need to do, and that's in this last one here. You're going to prepare a schedule of accounts. Schedule of accounts payable for Graphics Incorporated, that's our company, on October 31st of the current year for these selected accounts. Accounts payable balance in the general ledger on October 31st is $6,558.20. Save your work to complete with, yeah. Anyway, we're basically proving that everything we did is correct. So schedule of accounts at the end here, we are going to basically take the totals from each of our 4 ledgers, add them up, and they should come out to be $6,558.20. And if they do, great. If they don't, well, that's not good at all. So this is going to look kind of familiar to your balance sheet and other things like that. Before, we need to put in a title here. So we're Graphics Inc. This is our schedule of accounts. Missed the U. And this is for October 31st. And just put this year. No, thank you. Oh, stupid Google. You don't really need to do that for me. October 31, 2015. I don't need two commas there. Whatever. I'll just leave it. And we should really have this centered. Now, all we're going to do is just list our accounts. So, art and things. Again, my memory's not that good. I'm cheating a bit. Can do graphics. Electro. Graphics. Supply. And Regal Designs. And our totals are 748, 986, 2544, 2280, 20. There's our four totals. Now all we got to do is add them up. So total accounts payable, and this is just going to be the sum of these four guys right here. 6,558.20, 6,558.20. We are golden. Now, there's this whole big thing about ruling things and putting lines. I know Google doesn't have the best stuff as far as borders go. Something like that's fine. Okay? That's it for 11.1. Hopefully, I made at least some sense. Please make sure you look over the section. Take notes on it. This is something that's going to take a little while to wrap your head around, especially if you start asking questions like, how does this get posted to the general journal? How does it reflect this, that, and everything else? We will get there. But for now, just keep in mind that everything for accounts payable, every single transaction for accounts payable gets thrown into each individual ledger for each vendor. Okay? And in 11.2, we'll do it for accounts payable, and we'll be dealing with customers that time. All right. That's it, and bye.